assignment is on the mosaic versus the melting pot. Our first concept is the melting pot. It is understood as a trend towards assimilation, as well as a symbol for a process wherein people from different nationalities and ethnic cultural backgrounds leave their own values and traditions in order to form one homogeneous nationality. A common example of a melting pot is America. People who come to America are expected to cut ties with their previous cultures and ethnic identities in order to become American. It is also good to note that the melting pot is a myth. People don't just cut off ties with their home countries and leave it at that. They still send back remittances to their family, they still have visits, and they still maintain communication through phone calls and video calls. Our second concept is the mosaic. It is the policy trend towards multiculturalism. It is understood as this idea that people come together, keeping their roots and being harmonious with one another. A common example of the mosaic is Canada. Canada is known for its multiculturalism and is often cited as an example of this. It sells itself as a place which accepts and welcomes both immigrants and their cultural traditions and beliefs. A multicultural theorist named Will Klimka is a Canadian political philosopher. He argues that multiculturalism is the protection of ethnocultural groups through accommodation and recognition of different identities. He believes that to protect these rights of ethnocultural groups and prevent inequalities, rights of the groups must be protected against the larger society. However, it should be noted that multiculturalism and this idea of the mosaic are also myths. Canada is actually quite segregated, and ethnic cultural groups don't necessarily live in harmony together, but rather live independently from one another. In addition to this, a mosaic fixes identities and doesn't allow for flexibility, which promotes stereotypes. This also is evidence that we don't live in harmony with one another, but rather just tolerate other cultures. In addition, multiculturalism is this idea, and this idea of the mosaic obscures the inequities that ethnic cultural groups go through. And these are our references.